Hi, this is Chris from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from Political Voices Network.
Okay, let's on to happier things. Let's Scaramucci a little bit. Okay. Yeah.
And I also think that Mark Meadows, I mean, we're leaving that out of the equation, but this is not, he's not able to say on certain things that this is a witch hunt by Democratic leadership or Democratic district attorneys or attorney generals and so forth. He's just not able to say that. You have one of the key witnesses ran the Freedom Caucus and was his last chief of staff. And so that's right inside the wheelhouse. And so that's another reason why he's worried about these people that have access to his phone or he's talked to on the phone.
Yeah, that's the part that gives me confidence is, first of all, Jack Smith seems to have a slam dunk case, which is why I think he did the baller move of going right to the Supreme Court. But he has the data, right? He has the phone data, including Trump's. And as Scaramucci was just sort of saying there, all of the witnesses they're all Republicans. They're all his people, right? So it's going to be hard at the end of the day to spin this as some kind of, Democratic witch hunt.
Absolutely. Excellent point. Anthony's a very smart guy. I've spoken with him before. And there's also 7.5 hours of missing call logs from that day from the White House, right? And Jack Smith has probably been able to piece together what the communications were, what exactly the White House was trying to hide, and who he was talking to on the Hill. From Tommy Tuberville to Mark Meadows to all the guys that were sitting in his war room the night before at Trump's hotel in D.C. So I don't know the hand that Jack Smith is holding, but you're right. It's probably making them all incredibly nervous, which is why they're trying this outward push in the public to get it all sort of thrown out or pushed farther past the election.
Obviously, if you're innocent, you want your name cleared as soon as possible before the election.
100%. Of any of that stuff. Like, just think of the sexual, assault charges that came before Trump that he's dodged with E. Jean Carroll and all that. If somebody accused me of something like that, I would be out front of the courthouse an hour before it opened to give my DNA, to give all of my case, and Trump never does.
Do you think there's DNA on the pieces of his suit we could buy and then give them to E. Jean Carroll?
They're probably not even his suit.
Exactly,
it's just pieces of blue material.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Right.
He's a liar.
Right, exactly.
Minash in New Jersey, you're on with Noel. Hello.
Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, gang. Noel, really awesome to hear you, too. Stephanie, I cleaned up my rant from yesterday's show with John last night, and I cleaned it up again for Serena this morning. This Hunter Biden thing right now, as Democrats, we just need to, as Democrats, we don't need to be in the defensive posture with these people anymore. We need to embrace it. We need to say, look, Hunter's been annoying, yes, a distraction, but you know what? Poor kid came up yesterday. He spoke his heart out, showing his love for country and father and process.
Yeah.
And not all the Republicans put together, their lousy voters of 74 million who voted for Orange Jesus, none of them put together have as much humility, integrity, and decency as that kid showed yesterday, and that's what we should all own up.
Yeah, no, I agree. You've talked about that. Obviously, Biden. You've met him. He literally, it's like a bizarro world Trump. He couldn't be more opposite human in every way than Donald Trump.
Absolutely. And Manesh, if I got your name right, you make an excellent point. This is a teachable moment for America, right? Addiction is a cunning, baffling disease. That's what it talks about in the literature, right? You don't know how to solve it. You have to get your help to your loved one. And that little clip of Biden's phone call to his son when he was in the depths of addiction and said, look, I love you, son. I don't know what to do about this, and I know you don't either, but I love you to the moon and the back. Let's get you some help. That's how you approach it, and that's a good thing to put in front of the American people. And it also defines who Biden is. He leads with his heart. He leads like a human, like a father.
Now, I know you'd like to talk about the love that Donald Trump has for his children, like maybe the time he smacked Don Jr. in the face because he wasn't wearing a tie or something when he was...
Well, Barron's doing a good job.
Oh, yeah, but you've heard him say Barron's doing a very good job, apparently being Barron.
Yeah, being tall.
Being tall, yes.
Exactly. There's no compassion. I took care of Ivanka on The Apprentice. I saw how he hates Don Jr.
Yeah.
Senior doesn't even look at Don Jr. They sort of scold when they're next to each other. You know, Ivanka is the one who has all his attention because she puts on that cooey, sibilant S voice and whispers in his ear and says, "Hi, father," you know?
But isn't
and
it
manipulates him.
he really is like the complete 180 opposite. I mean, you're right. Like when you can just feel and see the love Joe Biden has, and it just, Trump could not be more awkward. Like literally you could tell like he almost couldn't remember Barron's name. He's like, well, he's doing a very good job, he's a very good student. He's Barron, right? Very tall. I mean, he just he's talking about some random person, right? Like, who says that? He's doing a good job, but doing what?
Right. There's an old clip when he was married to Marla Maples when they had Tiffany, and Tiffany was an infant, and Marla was holding her, and Trump referred to the baby as it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember that.
I remember this story, and he said something gross like, "Oh, we don't know if she's going to have her mom's," and like he did a thing
Exactly.
Rack or
Same-
something.
yes,
Yeah.
Oh, we don't know yet. I'm like, oh my god, he's just such a pig. Yeah.
He views people, even his own family members, as commodity, right? His sister, Marianne Trump, died recently, right? And the first thing he said in the tweet was, she was tall, beautiful, statuesque. He refers to her physicality. She was a federal judge. She was his sister. It wasn't like she was a loving sister and it was like, he talks about her physical attributes. That's how Trump sees people. That's why he owned beauty pageants, you know?
The all-time greatest hit, who says out loud, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd be dating her on the Howard Stern show, and still becomes president. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Hey, Chris, who said, since Reagan left office, there have been 50 million American jobs created. 48 million of them have been created under Democratic administrations. The last 3 Republican presidents have one thing in common, recessions. Who said that?
Cindy Lou Who?
No, that was a bad guess. Governor Gavin Newsom of the great state of California, who also, by the way, just released 7 beavers
Oh, boy.
into the wild for the first time in California. He seems like he would be good with beaver, doesn't he? I feel like he's really, really good to beaver.
Yeah, he knows his way around a beaver, no question.
Right? Thank you, Noel. For the first time in 75 years, he has released 7 beavers into the... thanks to the leadership of our tribal partners, he said, in years of preparation, we're running a new chapter of restoring California's wildlife and, I assume, our wetlands. I think Gavin Newsom is probably good for wetlands.
Well, he's never coming on this show anymore.
Just an added fun fact, Noel, that he's
it's an important thing if you want to talk about it ecologically, though, because
Yes.
beavers were all over this country,
Yeah.
and it was one of the first products. We took beaver pelts and
Yeah.
trapped them and stuff. We slaughtered like 100 million beavers,
Yeah.
like when this country was founded. And what beavers do naturally
Thank
is
you.
they mitigate water distribution, right?
Yeah,
So they
I know. Well,
flooding.
Gavin Newsom makes me flood my basement.
Stop it right now.
I'm saying the
Ms.
beavers
Miller,
can...
why do you have to work so blue?
Because Noel's here. Okay. Put 2
When I
comedians
lived
together
in Vail,
anywhere.
when I lived in Vail, there was a liquor store called Beaver Liquors. It's probably still.
Oh, it's at exit 69. Big Beaver
Yeah.
Road is exit 69. Is it in Michigan?
In Michigan,
And
yes.
there is a Beaver Liquors there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I know that you're disappointed you didn't get to hear more of Marjorie Taylor Greene. She didn't get to ask her here.
I would like to have asked Hunter Biden about Mann Act violations. Sex trafficking women across state lines.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
That would have been a good question. You don't seem to care about that, though.
Trafficking?
Now, was
Yeah.
Matt Gaetz standing next to her
No, he
when
was
she
not in
said,
that
I would like to ask
They don't-
questions about
grouping.
sex?
No.
They no longer get along.
Oh, okay. So she was standing next to the guy that ignored the sex
Yeah.
scandal.
Right.
The wrestling. Okay.
Right.
No,
Wrestling.
sorry.
Right.
Hard time keeping them all straight. Okay. Fantastic. There it is, my first drink of the day, Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic. Many of you know my story. I stopped drinking wine for 3 years during COVID, during the lockdown as part of a health reset. Now I drink wine in moderation, but this is an amazing new product. I've always believed in probiotics. And Z-Biotics, check this out. You drink just one of these. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. I am using this and I feel great in the morning. I don't have to worry if I have an extra glass of wine. I I still feel great in the morning. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. I've always had acid reflux problems. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. All I know is it works. It is Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic. Go to zbiotics.com/politicalvoices or scan the QR code on the screen right now.